There.
Welcome to the GameItAll.com live podcast. My name is Lucas Grimm.
Hey, I'm Pino25.
Corey Adelaris could not be with us tonight, but that's fine. It's going to be a two-man podcast tonight.
Yeah, like the good old days. So this week, holy shit, that it's slow as all hell.
Oh my god! I was actively trying to find stuff for the website, and I couldn't bring myself to write about a lot of it, and just the rest of it was just like, okay, there's nothing. There was literally nothing from like Friday till today.
Yeah, it was really, really quiet, and everyone's just excited for new stuff that's coming out in the next little while. So it's pretty much it.
This is the one downtime that we have. It's just, okay, here we go. Get ready. Get yourself mentally prepared. Finish the games that you haven't finished yet. Damn it.
Get your damn wallet ready.
Prepare your wallet.
Prepare your wallet. It's going to be expensive.
So let's jump into it, because I kind of want to go through this quick. We started the podcast a little late tonight because of shit. So let's jump right into it. Let's talk about PlayStation. PlayStation had probably the biggest announcements this week so far.
Yep.
Starting just earlier this week with the big 3.0 update, the Keshin update. Now, those of you who don't have a PS4 who haven't downloaded this update yet, it is a great update, I think, personally, because it has a lot added on it. It's by far their biggest update to the PlayStation 4 yet.
Well, yeah, you get a ton of crap.
And here's some of the big things. First of all, this part isn't the big thing. This has been advertised by Sony for some reason as one of their big selling points of the Keshin update, and that is stickers in your chat feed. That's, stickers, if you guys don't use in Facebook or anything, is those annoying little things that your friends keep posting.
I have no idea.
You don't use Facebook, so
there's supposedly stickers in my chat on my phone, so I don't know.
Okay, well, yeah,
but
I've only seen it on Facebook myself, because
I don't know. These kids these days,
yeah, the
damn kids.
But there's communities, which we're actually thinking of setting up a Game It All community on Facebook, or not Facebook, on PlayStation as well. What else do we have? Broadcasting, that's the biggest one. YouTube broadcasting. So instead of me going to Twitch, I can just go directly to YouTube, and that way my videos actually save without me going into Twitch and using the overly complicated system. It's not that complicated at all, really. I'm just lazy.
Well, nothing wrong with that. People are lazy. Also, PlayStation Plus storage. From 1 gig to 10 full gigs.
No longer am I going to be plagued with you do not have enough storage to save this download file or save this save game file.
So this is just the beginning of online storage. So we went from 1 to 10, and the next one we're probably going to go to 50 or 100 gigs. You just wait. So a lot of changes coming.
A lot of changes, and happened.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, this is the one time I've heard of an update that hasn't bricked the system so far.
So yeah.
I am surprised. I'm knocking wood on that one, but hey, that is great. Non-brick system, everyone's happy.
Yep, everyone wins. Unless you don't have a system.
Yeah, unless you don't have a system.
Like me!
It's a great update so far from everything I've seen of it. Like the communities, the event list, everything is really nice. If you go to GameItAll.com, there's a full out, fresh out list, also on the PlayStation blog as well. So definitely recommend taking a look.
Very, very awesome. Yeah, if you have a PS4, go check it out. Let's continue with Sony.
Well, yeah, because they're, like, as I said, they had the biggest update here. So last week we had Microsoft's list, which was several
For
really good games actually.
yep,
So this,
games of gold.
the games of gold. So now we just passed the last Tuesday of September. We're in October right now. So that
Yes.
means this Tuesday, not games of gold.
No, games of plus.
PlayStation Plus gets their new instant game collection, and this is a great add-on. So we have, starting off with the PS4 list, announced for PS4 is Super Meat Boy and Broken Age. Broken Age being Double Fine's classic point-and-click that went to Kickstarter, and it's awesome. I've played a little bit of it. I will be happy to add it in.
It's Super Meat Boy that's ready to piss you right off.
I don't think I need to actually go into what Super Meat Boy is because...
No, it's Super Meat Boy. It's one of those classic indie titles from, Team Meat, which is amazing.
Now, what we are also be getting, there's also going to be a Unmechanical Extended. I actually don't know this one off the top of my head, so this is actually going to be fun for me. That's going to be available on PS3 as well as PS4. Actually, I'm going to get into the cross-buys later because there's a few things that they had on there.
Yeah.
Also added for the PS3 games in October is Chariot, Zen Studios Kickbeat, and Nico Entertainment's Kung Fu Rabbit. Now, actually, this is where I'm going to get into the cross-buy parts because every one of these games have a cross-buy somewhere in them. So, first off, Super Meat Boy is going to be available on both Vita and PS4. Same with Broken Age, both Vita and PS4.
Yep.
Unmechanical is going to be PS4, PS3. Zen Studios Kickbeat will be available on PS3 and Vita. That Kickbeat does have a PS4 version, but that is not confirmed for
this month.
Yeah. Kung Fu Rabbit will be also a Vita title.
Yep.
So the only one that's not cross-buy is Chariot.
Yep. And that's all coming on Tuesday, October 6th. So if you got Plus and you have any of those systems, you good. You won't get it.
Honestly, I don't know why anybody doesn't have Plus, because if you're going to play online, you need it. It's just saying.
Yeah. And the amount of stuff that they give you in the course of a year is just ridiculous.
If you're a PlayStation owner, you should have Plus. It's just...
Yeah.
The extra money pays for itself with the games.
So, there you go.
But, of course, we're losing a game out of this list.
Yeah, but it wasn't that great of a game, so...
Yeah.
It's all good.
Drive Club will be leaving PlayStation Plus that same day. This is interesting because there was so many problems with Drive Club coming to Plus that we only got it for 3 months, when originally... at E3, they mentioned that it was going to stay on for a year.
Mm-hmm.
We finally get it. It's on for 3 months. It's gone.
Yeah, it was delayed and delayed and delayed, and they said, oh, yeah, we're going to release the game. It's going to come out on the same day as the retail copy. You're going to get it for free, yada, yada, yada. And then almost 9 months later, they released the thing.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, well, that's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so that's something that we can look forward to, not having Drive Club on our list anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
So, it's almost Halloween, right?
Oh, yeah, gotta love the scary shit.
Yeah, and especially one really good horror game that I highly recommend to everyone is Frictional Games Soma.
Holy shit.
There's a couple things I want to mention about Soma. First off, they actually have a live action mini web series that started now. and I forget when it's going to go up to. Didn't actually plan this for the podcast, but I watched the first episode. It is amazing.
Yeah.
It doesn't go into spoiler territory yet, but if you've gone through the game, I recommend go watching
the web series.
Now, let's talk about the awesome thing, though.
Yes.
I love when a horror game does well.
Or like an indie title.
Especially an indie horror game. I love it when those do well. Because especially in the case of Soma, it has sold 92,000 copies.
In 10 days.
In 10 days, 92,000 copies across PC and PS4. Now, the developer wasn't allowed to give a per platform breakdown, but that's really freaking awesome. Mm-hmm. And this is going to be able to allow them to fund the game or fund their company for the next 2 years.
Yeah, they'll be able to continue working on probably some sort of maybe like a sequel or a new IP for the next 2 years on the amount of money they've already made with the game in their first week and a half. So, and this is just the first week and a half, and Christmas season is coming, so more people are probably going to pick up the game.
And I just want to go through, because we don't have a review of it as of yet. I'm still working on that for our Halloween piece, so that's going to be on its way. You can expect that. I'm just going to give a taste of what everyone said about it. So let's start. We have Polygon, who gave it a 9 out of 10. GameSpot, who gave it 9 out of 10. Kotaku gave it a yes, since they don't have a score point.
They're like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's like, yes, no, okay, sure.
Yep.
Eurogamer gave it a recommended.
Yep. ING gave it an 8.1.
ING Escapist 4.5. So even if you don't trust our word on how good it is, or if you don't trust most reviewers' how good it is, everyone seems to be on the same page with this. In fact, Polygon, I have to give them credit, because they had one of their opinion piece was how the game was better than BioShock.
Yeah.
And that's like, I read that piece through. It's true, honestly, if you follow through.
Well, yeah, it's a good mixture of BioShock and Dead Space, and the whole thing is you don't have a weapon in the game, so it makes it that much more terrifying, because shit is coming at you. So it makes it just that much more fucked up.
Yeah, so congratulations, Frictional Games. You guys rock.
Oh my god.
Is amazing, and we can't wait to see the next one.
Yeah, one of my favorite like horror games in a long time. Long time.
Now, who's your favorite Street Fighter character?
Oh my god, has to be the damn big ass Russian. Has to be Zangief.
The Red Cyclone, and today he was announced for Street Fighter V. Awesome trailer.
Good guy, Capcom. Good guy, Capcom.
I have to mention, because I'm definitely putting that up on the site, because the trailer is great. Zangief looks awesome in Street Fighter V.
He is badass. Like, he's just fucking awesome.
I had to laugh because River, my daughter, your granddaughter, or not granddaughter.
No, goddaughter. There you go.
Yeah. I showed her that, and she's actually scared of Zangief, apparently. So I had to actually quote Wreck-It Ralph to calm her down with it. Just because you're a bad guy does not mean you're a bad guy.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's a big old bear. He's a big old mother,
Scared of him.
So, but yeah, like, you can't. Street Fighter game is not Street Fighter if you don't have Zangief. It's like not having Ryu, or not having Ken, or not having, Chun-Li or something.
Exactly. Zangief is he's our grappler. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah. He's one of those classic characters that you need, those quintessential characters that you need to fill out the game.
He's been in every since his introduction in 2. He's been in every Street Fighter.
So he has to be there
all through the Alpha series. So he has to be there.
Yeah. So, what more do you want? You know. So that's super awesome. So, we love the last Hitman. It was great. Absolution was.
I really enjoyed Absolution. Absolution was probably my favorite Hitman title. Just the story was much more fleshed out than I felt with the other ones.
Well, yeah.
I'm a little worried about this next one though. This new release type is really different, and that's kind of worries me. But hopefully it'll end up working out well. So what's going to happen is that Hitman is scheduled to launch on March 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Now, IO is doing something different, and we've known about this since E3 that it's going to have new weekly missions where the target changes like almost every day or something similar to that.
They want you to keep playing.
It's something to keep you playing for your contracts. Now, that to us sounds like it may be an online-only game, but there's a few other things that's going to be included. Now, what's going to happen is that the game's going to release partially unfinished. It's going to come out at $34.99 or region difference.
Yeah.
In Canada, it'll probably be $44.99.
For $39.99 or $44.99 or something.
Now, that is what they call the intro pack. Now, that is going to include 3 locations for the main story. And, of course, these missions are huge missions anyways. Believe it will... Here. On launch day, it will include... Here, sorry, I'm trying to look through that list so I can describe it much better in this.
It'll include 3 playable sandbox locations, including Paris, Spienza in Italy, and Marrakech in Morocco. So, and you'll have different missions, 6 different campaign missions with 800 different targets and weekly events.
40 signature kills, your weekly events, campaign mode, everything like that. So post-launch content, starting in April, will give you another level or a new campaign, 3 additional sandbox locations, new signature kills, new contracts, and new hits as well. So starting in April, you'll get Thailand, May you'll get USA, and then June you'll get Japan. Now, this is interesting. This is something that was done before, though. This was it MX?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was MX versus ATV on Alive or something. That you bought the base game for like $20 or $30. That you got a couple tracks and a couple bikes and a couple things, and then you could buy the season pass or buy different pieces of DLC separately and build the game experience that you really wanted, and not just pay the $60 and get everything. You could really like customize it to what you wanted as an individual, which was kind of nice. And this seems kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting, but at the same time, it feels there's something I don't think this whole thing exactly. But here's what happens. If you pay the intro pack, which is we're going to go with American prices for here, $34.99.
So let's go with tax, 40.
We'll go 40 with tax, sure. I'm actually just going to go with the developers, what they say. So it's $34.99. You get that intro pack. And then when you want to upgrade, you get pretty much what would be a season pass of content, which would be up to $29.99. Now, if you want the full experience, it's $59.99. Now, if you put some math together, already you should see that you're paying more if you do the intro and upgrade. But
That's like anything else. You buy anything from Telltale, if you buy them separately, it's going to cost you more than if you just buy it a one chunk deal. So
exactly. Anyway, it's going to be interesting to see how it actually turns out. Because I am interested in the new Hitman just because, you know, the last one was so good. I like to see how
it progresses.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see. If you're a bit iffy on the game, $34 is not that bad of a price. And if you're a big fan of Hitman, just pay the $60 and get the big full game. So
yeah, exactly.
It's kind of an interesting concept. Alrighty. Let's move on to Humble Bundle.
Yeah. So Humble Bundle. Here, just 1 second, because this is actually fairly new to me on how the Humble Bundle. I want to look up a little bit more on how that was done. But yeah, so Humble Bundle is getting a subscription base, which is
program.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're changing it up more. Giving you more options for what you can buy, which is kind of a new and awesome way to raise money for charity.
Yeah. So this is so for $12 each month, and with 5% of the figures going towards charity, it unlocks on the first Friday of each month, and you get a bundle of different games. So the first one is showing a free copy of Legend of Grimrock 2.
Yeah, if you order the bundle on Thursday, yesterday. If you ordered it yesterday, you would have got the Legend of Grimrock 2. And
yeah. So that's pretty much it for that one, because it's something very short, sweet, but it looks interesting.
In the coming weeks, the Humble Bundle will most likely have more information on it. So it's something interesting that if you want some more awesome PC games or mobile, like Android games, go check it out. They usually got some pretty awesome deals.
So let's talk about.
Oh my God!
So I don't know what your stance was on the augment your pre-order for Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
I had no real anything about it.
You're just a second.
I don't know.
Be right back. There's something going on outside. Be right back.
So I'm guess I'm taking over. So Mankind Divided is from Deus Ex, is the new game that's coming out pretty soon. And yeah, the last game was great. We're just waiting for Grim to come back because, it's Halloween and there could be bumps in the night. I wish I'd have a third person on the podcast. It's coming back. Oh my God. I'm freaking out. Oh my God.
I swear the cats were trying to break down the door or something.
Oh my God, he came back. He's not dead.
I'm not dead. I didn't get killed by a psycho slasher or a Wendigo, so I'm good.
But was there a clown? No clown?
No clown.
Aw.
No ghost killer either.
Aw. So let's get back to Augmented Peoples.
Okay, yeah. So Augment Your Pre-order was a system where you pre-ordered based on the amount of pre-orders, you were unlocking more and more stuff. A lot of people weren't happy with that, obviously. I thought it was an interesting concept that could probably have worked in terms of driving pre-orders, but not so much.
But I've seen this happen on Steam before, and it went quite well.
Yeah, me too. That's why I was thinking, okay, I've seen this before. I've seen this kind of stuff generated.
Concept, yeah, but people are idiots, and people are idiots.
I wouldn't go that well. Maybe, I don't know.
Some people.
The thing is, it wasn't very thought out well. They weren't really prepared for the backlash, is what happened. And so, our Square Enix has backed out of the pre-order program and is now releasing all the planned pre-order bonuses will all come with the day one bonus. Now that stops the point of the whole pre-order system, which was going to release the game early. So now the game will release globally on launch day. There won't be any early pre-orders or early advantage. So you had a chance to get the game a couple days early, but people didn't want.
Yeah, people are at douchebags, and they just screw them.
We are in the world where people are like, look at Batman, for example. People pre-ordered Batman on PC, and then they got this
worst port ever.
Exactly. So it's people want the developers to own up to their pre-orders, is what's happening.
Oh yeah, and it was a good thing that Valve was doing refunds.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
There you go. That's exactly why that system's in place. I mean, I wish that, because one of my friends purchased Drive Club the day that it came out digitally, and Sony wouldn't do a pre-order or wouldn't refund them.
Yeah, and it's funny, the whole refund thing started with EA on Origins. Coming from EA of all freaking companies.
From EA to start that is just that's amazing.
Yeah, and EA has pulled it off really well, because I know a couple people that refunded games on the EA Origin systems, and it works really well. You get your money back and everything is good. So
let's talk let's go to Microsoft first here. Project Spark. We've seen this shown at E3 quite a few times. The stuff that it looks like you can do in it looks amazing. I haven't gotten to touch it.
You get Conquer.
No, we don't anymore. Actually, that's because of this latest information. We are not getting the Conquer DLC that we were promised. So this has canceled the Conquer-related story information because of the Switch. And what this Switch is that the Project Spark is going into a free-to-play model. So you'll still be paying for a fair chunk to change and build the game the way that you really want. So like all your extra DLC, your extra content to build the games.
Yeah.
That will be, that will be there. But your game itself, like your basic models, will be free.
So yeah, you get essentially you get the engine for free.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not a bad idea, but of course, because of that, we don't have that Conquer DLC that was promised, which means Conquer goes back on the shelf.
Well, if you do really want to play Conquer, just get the Rare Replay collection. You'll be good to go.
That's true. That's the only way you'll be able to play.
And you get the full-blown, uncensored Nintendo version. That's just weird to say. Uncensored Nintendo version. That's just wrong, but it's amazing.
It is true. I wonder, do they still have the logo of Conquer Chainsaw?
I don't know. Probably not. I highly doubt that. But if you were interested into trying Project Spark, this is a great way to try it for free.
I just noticed that these lights make it look like I have mutton chops.
Yeah, kind of. You need some more lighting.
I look decent with mutton chops.
Oh my god! All right.
Next time.
All right, let's continue at Microsoft. Microsoft is losing one of their first-party developers.
Oh, who is it?
Twisted Pixels, the guys behind Explosion Man.
Explosion Man, The Maw,
Loco Cycle.
Yeah, wow. That's
Yeah, that's big.
Losing somebody really good. I mean, those are games I bought like on the arcade day one. Like,
Yeah, it was innovative games on the system, and they're losing, an awesome developer. So it's kind of,
on the plus side, hey, they can make games for anybody now.
well, yeah, they can move on to
So,
go to Kickstarter and run a campaign for something awesome, or go to Sony. They could go to Nintendo. They could,
oh yeah,
they
exactly. That'd be great.
they could make a system seller for the Wii U. You never know. So it's kind of an iffy. Well, it's kind of for Microsoft, but it could be good for someone else. So we'll see how that goes.
In the meantime, I think we're done talking about Microsoft. Let's jump back to Sony for a couple.
Yep.
So
So you recently purchased a PlayStation Vita.
I do,
And
and I love my Vita.
Oh, don't get me wrong. It's a great system. I have the Vita. I have the PlayStation TV. Lovely system. If you are into Japanese RPGs and import shit, it is your kind of system. It's got all sorts of crap.
Our
But
dating game starring high school teenagers that shoot themselves in the head to make.
yeah, and like tons of awesome stuff.
No,
But
they didn't shoot themselves in the head in this one. But anyways, moving on.
yeah, moving on. The problem with the Vita is there's no essentially system seller games. People aren't gonna shell out the $200 to buy the Vita for a specific game. That's the hard thing with the Vita. So, what's his name? How do you say his name?
Put it in the chat, and I'll
Oh my god. Yoshida. Shubi Yoshida?
yeah, and just a second. Where
Am I saying that right?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's.
For the life of me, my brain is not connecting with that.
I'm pretty sure he's one of the engineers, like one of the high up engineers at Sony.
Oh yeah, no,
And
he's the head of PlayStation right now.
okay, so he's the head of PlayStation. So he essentially had an interview in the past week, and he stated that
Yoshida.
Yoshida. So he essentially had an interview in the past week, and essentially what came out of the interview, he said that mobile phones and tablets have essentially killed the mobile handheld gaming consoles, such as your Nintendo and your Sony platforms, and it makes it really hard for Sony to compete with mobile, like your phone or your tablet, because if you already own a phone or a tablet, why would you want to go out and spend $200 or even $100 on another handheld if you can play those same kind of experiences on a phone or a tablet? It's just a really hard sell nowadays compared to 10 years ago when we had the PSP or the original DS. So it's really hard for these companies, and he said that there's essentially no real possibility at the moment that Sony is going to make another handheld console like the Vita 2.
I don't blame them personally because they had such a hard time with both the PSP and Vita.
Oh my god.
Both are great consoles, but like
with the PSP, it was the freaking UMD cartridges, disc things.
Yeah, and which they corrected with the Vita and like made the Vita much more accessible.
But
the lack of
titles.
Yeah, the lack of support for it. It's exactly what's happening with the Wii U. The lack of support for the console is what's killing it.
Yep.
That's exactly what we're seeing with what we saw with those three consoles.
So it's just, and also on the PlayStation TV side, the lack of get a lot less titles that you can play compared to on the Vita, and it's just like, oh my god. You just look at the compatibility list, and it's just sad. But if you're a fan of RPGs, it's the way to go.
And yeah, it's
oh my god, like you get stuff from Atlas, NIS, Arc System Works, the list goes on and on and on, like Exceed and Sega America.
So yeah, exactly. There's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Now let's jump to something that's happened recently, which kind of
that's pissing me off.
It pissed me off quite a bit. Now I'm gonna say I can't go into full details because of the non-disclosure agreement, but I've been in the Rainbow Six beta, Rainbow Six Siege beta.
Yes.
Really excited for it because I finally playing through a few games on the beta. It was great. I loved it. It felt Rainbow Six. It felt something new. Really good. I was ready to pre-order it the day that before this news came out.
And then Ubisoft came over and just slapped you.
So that's all I'm saying about the beta. I'm not going to go into full details about what I experienced and stuff like that. Of course, non-disclosure.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, much later, like after the games went out, of course.
Yeah.
But what Ubisoft announced is that there is no single player per se. Now, to tell you what the per se is, it pretty much means that you will not have a single player campaign. So there will be no story mode that just branches out over, the Rainbow Six team fighting the terrorists, winning, doing all that stuff that we're usually used to with the Rainbow Six games.
Much.
So what you are getting is a single player tutorial mode, which will involve you going in and fighting the terrorists by yourself, getting used to your crew and everything, and that's it. That's all you're getting.
Yes.
Everything else will be multiplayer focused.
For $80 Canadian.
For $79.99 Canadian, that is what we're getting.
Plus tax.
Yeah, that's not even counting taxes, of course.
So that's essentially $100 game.
Pretty much.
For multiplayer.
Yeah, of just multiplayer. Now, to try to ease it over, Ubisoft did announce that they will be giving free post-launch content. So that's going to be maps and everything like that.
So is there a season pass, or is it?
Because all the DLC will be free.
Okay, so that's not as bad.
That's not as bad. That's a good even to even out. But at the same time, no single player. It's just going to be pretty bad. Now, one thing I can tell you about is, because this is based off of the information that we saw from Reddit and Twitter, their feeds have been blown up with problems over the server. If you look at the notes, it's pretty much every couple hours that it's like, oh, problems with servers back up, problem with the servers back up. You're launching a multiplayer only game. You need to make sure that your servers are up and running properly.
And essentially, if they don't pull this off correctly, it's going to turn into EA's freaking SimCity.
That's true. It will end up being SimCity because...
And SimCity was one of, hands down, the worst launch for EA in their history.
So right now it's up in the air. If hopefully Ubisoft will be able to string out a win on this, but this is because the game itself, what I will say is that the game is fun. When it works, it's a blast to play.
But
but you
in the
can't.
let's look at the past 2 years for Ubisoft. They've had some iffy titles come out.
We're talking Unity, and of course,
Unity and Watch Dogs and other stuff.
don't get me wrong. I love Ubisoft. Ubisoft is great. Like, a lot of their stuff is really good.
Oh yeah, like I own most of their games on PC, and it's like stuff that I can't trade in because I own box copies.
Yeah, and
So
like most of it is really good. So hopefully
they can
this
pull it
won't
off.
be in a Unity. I see that Syndicate so far has been getting rave reviews from people that play the previews with them.
Yes. Oh, and you get Fight Club with Syndicate.
Yeah, you get a Fight Club with them.
I am pumped for that. Oh my god.
So yeah, that's going to be one thing that's definitely going to be interesting to watch. Now, this whole trend of no single player though is going to continue though, because we have also happening is Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Now, specifically, this is going to be for the PS3 and Xbox 360 version, so the last gen versions.
And the funny thing with that at E3 and before, when they originally announced the game, they said it's next gen only, essentially. And then they come back and go,
Oh, hi, kitty.
"Oh, you're talking to your cat." I'm like, "What?" But yeah, like they were essentially going, the game is just going to be next gen, and then they come back and go, "Oh yeah, we're releasing it on the PS3 and 360," and then they come back afterwards and go, "Yeah, you're only getting multiplayer."
I have a white pussy right now. She looks so high.
Mr. Bond, Mr. Bond.
I'll let you go because you just shedded a whole bunch on me. That's fine.
So, but yeah.
That's how you attract viewers. You put a pussy.
Cat, yeah.
Anyways, well, actually, what they said at E3, they didn't just necessarily go, it's going to be next gen only. They didn't mention anything about that. Single player, what they mentioned on that is that we were going to get a 2-player cooperative rather than 4. And then because it was too ambitious for them, they had to cut back. So, single player will not be in Black Ops 3
For
4
Flash
play.
gen,
Not even 4 play. Like, it will be completely gone.
Yeah.
So you will just have multiplayer and zombies. Now, here's the thing. So you're expecting that sort of cut, where the game is going to have a major drawback from the next gen versions.
Yes.
Aside from graphics, you're going to be expecting the PS3 and Xbox 360. It's going to be. I'm getting distracted by this tail that's flopping in my face. So you're going to be expecting that that's going to be cheaper at least.
Yes.
It is going to be cheaper. $10. So the game moves down from $59.99 in the States to $49.99. Now, looking at the EV.ca website, it did not go down as of yet.
Yeah, because that's what I paid. I paid $69.99 for Advanced Warfare last year, and it's like,
yeah, it's still $69.99. So it did not go down. Canada might not, in this case here, probably won't see the update. Of course, I'll update the website if that changes, but that's something scary to me, honestly. Like, because the thing is, that says to me a couple things. One is that Activision has no faith in the single player, and that think it's only worth $10.
they should release the single player just digitally for $10 and I buy it.
Oh, but here's your incentive to still buy it on PS3 and Xbox One if you're still looking to buy it on the old gen. You're gonna get Black Ops 1 digitally. And if you don't have it, I mean, Black Ops 1 is a great game.
Oh, yeah, like it was mind blowing. Like the ending was, oh my god.
Yeah, story like that. If you're going to go based on story mode, Black Ops 1 had a great story.
Oh, it was awesome.
So there you go. You have that to go with. But the thing is, today, at like about a week after they announced this, they showed the single player trailer, and it looks amazing. So you're really going to want, if you're going to want to play the game, you're going to have to update. And most people I've heard they are going to update soon. And that's probably going to be the reason, which is kind of sad, honestly.
So I'll have to get a damn PC copy.
Yeah, or you get a PC copy.
Yeah, but you can't get rid of the PC copy. That's the problem. You are stuck with it.
So both Call of Duty Rainbow Six follow suit with a lot of stuff that EA's been doing, which includes Titanfall and the upcoming Star Wars Battlefront, where there's no single player campaigns, and it's all based solely on multiplayer.
Yeah, and that's kind of shitty.
This is a scary trend for me. When I pay, if I'm going to pay $69, well, in Canada now, if I'm going to pay $74 to $79, I want my money's worth.
Well, yeah, if I want to get a multiplayer shooter, I will just go play Counter-Strike.
You know what? I will one up you on that one. I will go and play one of the many free-to-play shooters that's on freaking PlayStation 4 right now.
Yeah, like you could get PlanetSide.
I can get PlanetSide. I'm enjoying PlanetSide now. I can get Blacklight Retribution. I can get Loadout. I'm fine with playing those for my multiplayer, feed, where I'm not getting a story mode or like any challenge mode, stuff like that, where I can like just sit down and enjoy myself.
Yeah.
I am really pushed away from those titles.
Well, especially with Battlefront. Like, it's a freaking Star Wars game.
Because Battlefront had such a big following with Battlefront 1 and 2, and they had like their own single player mode and the Galactic Conquest mode. Like the Galactic Conquest is where pretty much everyone spent their time on. And like that's where I spent my time on. I loved the whole strategy feel.
Yeah.
So not having that even really kills that for me. It makes me go, okay, I really don't want to play this. I'm sure when the beta comes out, I may feel different, but it won't change the fact that I will probably not pay for the game day one.
No, I will buy it when I see it on sale for like $20.
Pretty much. That's pretty much what will happen for me, because based on online, like how here's the problem. You can't go back to an online game. Like if anything happens, like when say the next gen comes, I'm not gonna want like. Sometimes I want to go back and play a game because, they stay with me. I can't go back to an online game. There's probably not anyone playing.
Well, yeah.
The servers are probably down. There's a number of different things that stops me from joining that.
Mm-hmm.
So it kills it for me. It's not a good thing for me.
All right.
And also, I have a daughter that runs around all day, so if I do play games, I need to pause the game from time to time. I mean, she gets into stuff like whether I'm paying attention or not. So
all the time, it does not fail. All right, so let's continue with some more Activision douchebaggery.
Let's talk about the scariest game to come out to date on the new gen consoles. and like just for this year. I mean, I'm sorry, Soma. I'm sorry, Until Dawn. You guys have been beaten out by Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. Oh my god. I've never seen a game as glitchy as that.
It's worse than anything from Bethesda.
It's worse than Ride to Hell. The glitches are literally more than there's more glitches in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 than I've seen in Ride to Hell.
So we are officially calling it, stamping it, worst game ever made.
No, oh god, no, I'm not. I'm still not stamping that. I mean, Ride to Hell was just really fucking.
Okay, most broken game.
It has to be like it's up there. I mean, aside from a couple games I've played before where they ported the game and you needed a special power that you learned 2 levels later.
Wasn't that Inferno?
Now it's had something to do with fighting demons. But
was it Inferno or something?
I think so. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was on the 360. Yeah, that was bad. But yeah, broken as all hell.
Yeah, like just really, really bad. And it was that's the worst part because I was like, this is Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I was actually excited for it because it looked great from all the previews. Now there was a few things that happened with the game that people are speculating why it went down this road, why there was so many glitches. Well, so let's look at it this way: the Activision Tony Hawk contracts ends this year. So after this year, they either have to renew the contract or it's out in the open. Now, aside from that, this really could just be one last cash grab from Activision, which honestly feels like a possibility with how much glitches this was.
Well, and it's not surprising because look at the last game and the last 2 games before this one, freaking Tony Hawk Ride.
Tony Hawk HD and Tony Hawk Ride and Shred.
Yeah.
All 3 of those were actually just really glitchy.
Oh my god, Ride was terrible.
Yeah.
I got mine for $4.
But let's not forget that how like Ride you needed the freaking fucking board.
Oh my god, it was the worst thing. And I used to work at the game store when that thing came out, and people were like, "Is this awesome?" Oh yeah, well, motion controls. But I bought it when it was $4. Good old clearance.
Clearance sales, yay! Oh, great, I have a white mustache. So, trying to get on screen.
Terrible, 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 terrible. But we will see who picks them up if Activision doesn't sign them again.
So there is some good news though, because the game is, or they are working with the developers to fix out some glitches, but at the same time, it just feels like, okay, this probably should have been either delayed or somebody from quality assurance should have stuck their nose in and said, hey, no, don't release this. You're going to get a really bad rep.
Well, someone screwed up.
Because you have so many problems with this game now that it is ridiculous. I mean, there's no way. It's gotten such bad reviews now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like did someone test the damn game and go, yeah, this is not good.
And they released it early. Anyways.
Yeah. So, well, you never know. They might go, screw you, Activision. We're gonna go see. They could go see the team from Skate.
EA. I think which team made Skate? Was it Redwood? Redwood?
I can't remember. It's been a couple of years.
Yeah, like Tony Hawk could go to the Skate team and they start making a realistic Skate game.
Mm-hmm. Well, kind of like way back, the first ones were decently
They weren't very realistic at all.
Wow.
You grinded on a helicopter blade. What kind of like skater actually does that?
Oh, it was Black Box. Yeah, it was EA Canada that did it.
Okay, EA Canada.
Yep, they did the first one. I don't know if they did the second one.
They haven't done anything recently.
Yeah, it was Black Box that they did the second one, and they did the third one also. Good old Canada. They know how to do skateboarding.
Well, they also know how to do boxing and UFC as well.
Yeah, they know how to do all sorts of shit.
Yay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything that we had for the news today. That's been, as I said, been a fairly slow week. I mean, this only took us about 40 minutes so far.
Yeah, it was really
We're
quiet.
usually here an hour, like, just talking shit about the news.
It was quiet.
Let's see what's coming out next week here.
Stuff.
Let's load up this list here. So far, what we have announced for October 6th, we have Disgaea 5 Legions of Vengeance for PS4, which looks great. Definitely, if you're a Disgaea fan, definitely want to pick that up.
I know.
There is a beta out right now, too, so it's definitely something to look into.
Really? For Disgaea?
Yeah, beta for Disgaea.
That's weird.
I know, I felt a little...
Any beta for, like, anything from, like, Atlas or NIS or any of these like Japanese companies is just kind of weird.
I see. Okay, so we're covered up to that date. Okay, good. Just seeing which one we have up to date here. So we also next week we have Rock Band 4 for PS4, Xbox One.
Yes, and all the weird and bizarre accessories are coming out already. Like you can get a drum seat, the microphone stand, and yeah, all these junk peripherals are coming back.
Ooh.
From 2007.
And so also we have Transformers Devastation from Platinum Games and Activision. And that's for PS4, PS3, Xbox One, Xbox 360. Looks amazing.
Oh my god. The worst thing is Nintendo owns them and it should have been on the Wii U.
Yeah, that's sad. I mean, well, I'm not even sure if Nintendo owns Platinum at this point. I remember hearing that rumor, but it could have been just a rumor at this point in time. I will look that up and correct us on the next podcast if needed.
Well, they are making whatchamacallit.
They are making
Star Fox, yeah. So
yeah, we didn't actually cover Star Fox. There was a bit of news for Star Fox, and it was that the new release date now is whenever it feels platinum ready.
Yeah, well, and they're trying to get 60 FPS on both screens.
Yeah, so we're probably going to be waiting a little bit, but it's when it's platinum ready, when it feels like a platinum game, we are going to get Star Fox, and that's good because, I mean, Star Fox and platinum games. I mean, come on.
Yeah, pretty much.
So after that, we have on the 9th, which is Friday, we have Chibi Robo Zip Lash for 3DS, and Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection, which also has a beta or demo out right now, which is shows off the helicopter level in Uncharted 2, which is one of my favorite levels of the game.
Yeah. So. And yeah, if you're interested in Uncharted, they in the first game they changed a ton of stuff. They fixed a ton of stuff and made it a lot more flow, a lot better. So if you're just check out the videos on YouTube about how they changed the game and made it better.
I actually can't wait for the week after. There's quite a bit to talk about that day.
Yeah, there's gonna be some awesome shit.
But, of course, we're going to hold off till next week's podcast.
Yes.
So, this week, what do you want to talk about this week, actually?
I don't know. Awesome old crap. I don't.
Fine. So, well, my thing is, it's Halloween. Halloween is starting. We're almost there. We have people singing the song all over the place. What do you think has been the scariest game that you've ever played?
I don't know. Either something from Silent Hill, because that shit was fucked.
Silent Hill is always fucked.
I don't know. Dead Space. Some of the shit in Dead Space was fucked up. Yeah, some of the Silent Hill stuff. SOMA scared the shit out of me. Later in the game. Bits and pieces of BioShock 1. There was some creepy shit in that. But yeah.
Well, I've been thinking about that lately because the Silent Hill games, as great as they were, they never actually scared me. And that was the thing. Like, they are psychological horror, so you have to really think about them before they actually do anything to you. It's kind of the same with Soma. Like, Soma does have that physical scare, but it is more psychological.
Yeah.
And I do love my psychological games. They're great that way. But it's just, I haven't actually figured out which one actually scared me the most. Like, I'm going to say Outlast at this point in time. Because it's still a game that I haven't, like, since I got scared, I haven't gone back to. And like, I'm only 2-3 levels in on my playthrough.
Well, Downpour with the 3D and the big headphones and the lights off.
I remember you doing that.
Yeah, that's scary shit. When there's, stuff coming at you in 3D. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to change our conversation. Let's talk Silent Hill.
All right.
Because Silent Hill, I have to say, I think Silent Hill has probably the most rabid fan base ever. Like, in comparison to any other game that I've seen. Like, pretty much what happened is Silent Hill 1 comes out. It's really good. People, like, use it as a Resident Evil challenger. And, like, people enjoy it. It's a good game. We pretty much leave it at that, though. Silent Hill 2 comes out. Everyone collectively loses their shit. It ends up being this amazing game with a huge cult following. I'm not saying it's a bad game at all. I love it. It's a great game. It is definitely it's definitely the best in the series. But it's immediately after that even other good Silent Hill games like Silent Hill 3 and Silent Hill 4 are pushed under the rug with most fans. They hate it with a passion. But not so much with 3. 4, Downpour, Homecoming, Shattered Memories, everything after 3 pretty much. They hate it with passion.
And Shattered Memories was so innovative.
Like,
with the on the Wii.
Here's the thing, because people, what happened is, like, they moved teams in after 4. And it started being developed by American studios at that point. The thing is that what happened with Origins, I will actively say Origins was a mistake. Origins is the lowest of the group because that was a cash grab for the movie. They came out during the movie and had the same walls lifting thing that we saw from the movie. It was mainly focused from the movie's story. It kind of, even though it did have a lot of the other Silent Hill features, it really did not. It was a cash grab, honestly. But the other ones, Homecoming, Downpour, Shattered Memories, they're still very Silent Hill games. Like they should still belong in that category. Like I don't understand why the fans have been rabid against it.
It's Final Fantasy VII syndrome.
Because Silent Hill 2 is the first Silent Hill game they played.
Yeah, essentially, it's the whole FF7 syndrome, because people go, "Oh my God, it's the best game ever," yada yada yada. When 6 is the best one, and they can go,
Yeah, that is actually a theory. There is, I believe it was the game theorist that went with that. That there's a theory that the first Final Fantasy game that you played is your favorite Final Fantasy game.
And that, like, mine would be 3 because I played it on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, same here.
And 3 is 6.
And even after coming back after years later, you're like, oh wow, 3 is still amazing.
Blows your mind,
Yeah. So at the same time, I'm like, I understand. Like I do get what they mean by that. At the same time, 3 is still better, or 6 still better.
And well, yeah, and a lot of people would agree. Yeah. But then you have other people that go, "Oh my God, 10 was better," or. But it's the first one that they played through.
You just kind of
Yeah, but there's people that went, "I got my PS2 and I got 10," or "I got such and such for different games, and this is the first one in the series that I played. It's amazing." So.
Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly how people feel about that series, and I think you're right. Does feel like how they're doing with Silent Hill. People are, this is how we got, or how Silent Hill should be.
Well, yeah, and it also, like, same as kind of like with Gran Turismo. I love the old Gran Turismo games, but when 5 came out, that was a complete and utter failure because it did not live up to my expectation of what number 3 and number 4 were.
Exactly.
And Forza completely destroyed Gran Turismo.
So, my thing, what I was going on about in this case here, the one I especially get mad at is The Room, because a lot of people kept telling me that it wasn't a Silent Hill game. Now, you played Silent Hill: The Room, right?
Yeah, I have it here somewhere. Yeah, right here. Yep, on the Xbox.
So, for those who don't know what Silent Hill: The Room is, we do have it on a review up. What happens in The Room is that you are stuck in a apartment in Ashfield Heights, which is a city over from Silent Hill. And it's just kind of like Silent Hill's evil seeping out in a way. But it's all because of one guy who lived in Silent Hill, who was part of the Order, and found a ritual that does all this bullshit. So you get trapped in your room. You have to climb out through a hole that starts in your laundry room and ends up growing more in your bathroom. And you have to go, it brings you into Silent Hill, where you have to fight ghosts and other demonic monsters. Now, the thing is, everyone keeps saying that it's not a Silent Hill game, even though there is obvious Silent Hill things in it. And I like to say it's It is, because there's a couple things that even 2 referenced into 4.
Well, yeah.
If you're looking at references, Silent Hill 2 had a couple things. First of which, in one of the what was it? It was a apartment, no, a shop that you walk into. There's this famous wall that says, "There was a hole here. It's gone now." That's obviously talking about the hole from 4. I mean, come on, that's kind of an obvious statement right there.
Well,
On top
yeah.
of that, right before you enter the apartments, you're pretty much your first level of Silent Hill 2. Right before you enter it, if you check the garbage, they talk about one guy killing these twins and then getting killed himself later. That is Walter Sullivan, the enemy or the main bad guy of Silent Hill 4. So the reference is there in earlier games. So to me, it's 100% a Silent Hill game. Canon, everything that is there. I needed to rant about that. Honestly, that was pissing me off.
And you know what the worst part is? You probably will never, ever, ever get a new Silent Hill game.
Oh, probably not. And but that's another thing. PT had references to Walter. There was several references that I think a lot of people kind of figured. First off, hole in the bathroom wall. There's one puzzle that you need to look into the bathroom wall and get scared.
Yep.
And that is a innuendo to our homage.
Yeah, homage. Like it's links back to other, similarities.
But the big thing that I feel like before I knew that was a Silent Hill game, I could have called it in a way. After playing it through recently, I'm like, I know this is a Silent Hill game at this point, but I could have probably called it at this time.
If you are interested in a game that's similar to PT, there's Allison Roads on the PC.
I've only heard about it so far.
It's supposedly like the closest thing to it. And they're still doing, I think they're still doing Kickstarter right now.
Awesome. I hope it succeeds. And I feel like we need more horror games. Horror games just in general went down. We don't see
horror games. Yeah, there's still 19 days left on the Kickstarter campaign. They need £250,000. They're at £116,000 at the moment. So if you're interested in Allison Roads, which is very Silent Hill-ish title, go check it out, because it looks pretty bitchin', and it's going to be on the PC, on the PC.
Yeah, I think that's actually where we're going to leave the talk about Silent Hill, because I could rant about Silent Hill for a long time. I mean, ask Pentavis, or Pentavis. I almost named it wrong again. Ask him, and he knows. I sat in his car and just ranted for probably an hour, and he was just like, I don't care. I don't play Silent Hill. Like, well, fuck this and shit, and like kept going.
Yeah. So yeah.
Now, I want to mention actually, because Halloween's so close. Did you see the latest Netflix update?
Scream.
Yeah, Scream. The Scream TV series on Netflix, a Netflix original. Any idea? Have you watched any of it yet?
No, I'm guessing it's ridiculously over the top, and it's like, oh my god.
I'm assuming. I'm probably going to be watching it through before Halloween, because I'm a fan of the Scream series anyways. the ridiculousness of it all.
And there's on top of that, there's also new to TV this fall is Scream Queens, which is done by what's his name? Ryan.
I can never remember his name.
Oh, oh
I have
God damn.
names. I have to look at
Ryan Murphy. Ryan Murphy.
Ryan.
There you go.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
Ryan.
it looks great. I've only seen bits and previews, and
Yeah,
I followed them on Twitter with the site.
Yeah, he's the creator of American Horror Story, so he knows how horror works. But it's like super cheesy B movie, horror, and it's just amazing. So you can check that out on Fox. It's on, yeah. But yeah, good old Halloween.
Yes. And so of course all our podcasts are going to have some sort of Halloween theme for this month. Like Fox.
What you playing? What you playing, darling?
Oh, I'm not too sure what I'm going to be playing for the next episode. I have SOMA, so I'll have to play through and beat completely.
Scare the shit right out of you.
Scare the shit right out of me. And I am working on several reviews for the site at this time. Tonight, I'm actually going to be testing the streaming on YouTube from PlayStation with the Keshin update that we talked about. See how that's going to work. Maybe we might switch over from YouTube to Twitch, or Twitch to YouTube.
Yeah.
Really depends on how that turns out.
And you could do a special that you go from one to the other, and back and forth, depending.
Can definitely do that.
Yep.
So yeah, hopefully we're going to try that out. I'm probably going to play Zig. I can never pronounce the game right. Zaggarat. I'm not pronouncing that. How do you pronounce it?
Whatever that is, I have no idea.
It's here it is. 1 second. Let me. Ziggurat is how it's pronounced. So what it is, it's kind of like the spiritual successor to the Heretic games. Where
yes, I remember you showing me it. It was very kind of weird first-person
dungeon crawler rogue game.
Yeah, it looked pretty awesome.
I mean, now that I've played a lot of it, I'm more confident in the game, and I'm going to show off a bit. So yeah, that's going to be our first YouTube stream, and see how that turns out.
Awesome.
All right, and what are you playing this week?
I just picked up YS Memories of Celceta for the Vita. So I will be playing that for the next, I'm guessing, long while.
I forget about that. I also have Persona Dancing All Night that I'm doing for reviews. So
you'll be dancing all night with Persona.
Oh yeah, already been dancing all night. It's great so far. Really, really frustratingly challenging though.
How much depth is there to that?
Well, here's the thing. We'll talk about this for a little bit before we end the podcast. So let's see if I get this right. So we have 3 buttons this way, right?
Okay. And
then we have 3 buttons this way. So these are your like triangle, circle, X.
And X, yeah. And then
left,
right, yeah, and bottom, yeah.
So here's the thing. You're going and you have from the center of the screen, trying to do this right. You go, okay, here's my first button.
Okay.
After a while, you have buttons going, okay, I need to press this one. And you go triangle down, circle down, hold up, and hit X this one, and then let go.
Fun?
It gets hard, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, it is for Atlas, so...
There are some free songs out released already, which is one of them's Rise's True Story song, which is the song that you get when you unlock her on Persona 4.
Okay.
And if you watch the anime, it's the opening song to her episode.
And yeah,
Yeah.
her intro. Yeah.
So yeah, that song, I saw it and it was maxed out with stars on normal. I figured, okay, it's normal. I'm going to be fine with it. I've cleared a couple mid-star songs. I should be fine. I wasn't fine. They were asking me to do short holds here, short hold here while hitting 5 other buttons and then doing a DJ scratch.
It's like I don't have that many thumbs.
There was no way my thumbs were going to work with that. It's just like I'm playing and I'm just going. Are you
okay?
Me?
Okay, that's interesting. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, next time you come down, I'll get you to play a level because it's.
Yeah, it looks like something I need to add to the collection.
It is a lot of fun. Like for a dancing game, if like rhythm game in general, it plays well, but it is hard as hell.
Okay.
When you get to later levels. And the fact that there's a story mode in it though is worth it.
Yeah. Of all fucking things, you're not getting story mode in Battlefront. You're not getting story mode in frickin' Rainbow Six. You are getting story mode in Dancing Persona.
You get a story mode in Dancing All Night, and it is, well, it's all right. It's a story mode for Dancing All Night.
But frickin' Persona fighting game had the longest frickin' story.
Yeah, and actually had a decent one too. So
oh yeah, it was decent, but it was like so much dialogue.
There's a lot of dialogue in this one.
Oh my god.
There is a lot of dialogue in the story mode. I have to admit that. I think that would be my only down point. But the gameplay and the fact that you can just jump into free dance and unlock everything anyways without going through the story mode is worth it.
Yeah, the amount of dialogue was kind of like my only with the fighting game. It was too much for a fighting game.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm used to Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat that you get like, and that's it.
And then they fixed most of that in Ultimax.
Yeah, I didn't buy that one.
Yeah, that one I highly recommend. It is.
Well, yeah. But
so that is going to be our podcast for tonight. We've had some rants. We had a short amount of news, and we will. Well, at least I'll be back in a couple minutes here with our Twitch or YouTube.
And I'm going to bed.
You're going to bed.
It's going to be glorious. I get to go sleep in tomorrow. It's awesome.
Lucky son of a bitch.
Well, I'm sorry that you have a child.
Why does everyone keep saying that? They're using that on me. I mean, come on. I'm sorry you have a child. Not my fault you decided to have a parasite. God, fucking damn.
No, I didn't say that. I said, I'm sorry you have a child.
You know what? I'll go into that rant some other time. But
your children's rants?
Oh, yeah. Anyways, that is our podcast for tonight. My name is Lucas Grimm.
Yeah, I'm Pina25. What up?
And you guys have yourself a great night.
Yeah.